A 16-year-old is sitting in jail tonight, charged with the shooting during Sunday's teen takeover in Clearwater Beach. Polk County deputies helped Clearwater police arrest Noel Marsh III last night in Haines City, where he lives. Fox 13's Kaylee Tracy is live outside the Clearwater Police Department, where the deputy chief and Pinellas County Sheriff gave an update today. And Kaylee, they had a strong message about these teen takeovers.
Yeah, to put it simply, they say to any copycats or anyone thinking of acting recklessly, it'll land you in jail. And that is where Marsh is, who's charged with attempted second-degree murder. Police say he fired 7 shots and hit the 17-year-old victim in the leg, arm, and chest. The victim is in the hospital, but he is expected to be okay. And investigators say a fight between two groups who know each other escalated into the shooting. The fight started, police say, about a month ago in Winter Haven. The victim told detectives it stems from social media and party-related rivalries. Deputy Police Chief Michael Wallach says they've been monitoring social media and they knew about Sunday's takeover and had officers ready. The sheriff also had a message for parents of teens going to these takeovers.
Throughout the day, they were relatively calm. They were gathered in groups. Like the sheriff mentioned, we have to balance to what they're doing. To be on the beach and stand there in a group is not a crime. But furthermore, on top of that, the flashpoint of this entire thing appears to be the shooting. When a bunch of out-of-town people decided to come to the beach and escalate things because of their own problems.
These parents need to own it. They do need to be responsible for these kids. These are kids who are 14, 15, 16 years old. I think the victim in this was 17, the shooter 16. These are all kids. Do the parents know? And a lot of them came over here by Uber.
And Wallach says since the end of last year, there have been 11 takeover events planned for Clearwater. 9 were canceled and
I'm just a little upset that I never get the invites. To these things. I did try to go. I will confess that. I did try to go. I was turned away at the door, at the gate, by some teens taking over. They said, "You're too old, Unc." And that probably hurt worse than anything I've ever heard before in my life. That probably hurt worse than, and I don't want to say this, and I might get canceled, and this might not be politically correct, that might have hurt worse than the person who got shot. Different injuries to different people, but that one stung. I showed up at the door and I said, "Hello, I am, it's been a few years since I was a teen, but I also would like to take over. I'm interested in taking over. I would like to be present with you fellas and take over as well. May I please participate?" And they said, "Well, you're a little too old. You're a little too old, Unc. We don't think this is for you. Maybe go get some soft serve ice cream." Not even ice cream. They said soft serve custard. And they said easy so your dentures don't fall out. So if I was there, I don't know if this would have happened, is all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say anything too provocative, but I am thinking that my presence could have calmed and could have been a balm on the entire situation. Look, they start yelling. They go, hey, you. And then I go, "Hey, fellas, hey, listen, we're just all of us here, all of us together, myself included. We are just a bunch of teens. We're just a bunch of teens having fun, are we not? And isn't it summer now? Let us commence in the festivities and have fun." And honestly, I think that would have worked if you had a gun to my head. I don't know if it really would have worked, but I'm saying that my presence could have been a balm on the situation and I should have been let in at the gate. I tried to fool them. I said, "Well, I'm probably 22, 23. And they go, "Yeah, right." And I said, "Yeah, you had a few years to that and you're pretty darn close." So I don't think they deserved it. I'm not trying to say they deserved it. You know, they deserve to be in trouble, or that, you know, that person deserved to be injured. But be kind to your elders. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Whoop, episode 44. Thank you so much for joining another week of excellence on this planet as we go around and round. And thank you for joining. Recorded here live at Judson University down in the Darkroom Studios, the podcast studios. And it is a joy to be here. And thank you. Yeah, kind of got a fun, different show for you this week. Listen, I did stop by, actually. I'm about 20 minutes away from Clearwater, and I was there the other day live at the scene of the crime. I'll put that picture here. I'm sure I can fit it somewhere. And I got myself, I was with the family, got a grouper sandwich, and I drove right by the scene, what I think is the scene. I think I might have been too far south, and I paid my respect by going like this out the window. I went like this. Well, I was driving, and so I was like this. As I drove by, I did my civil duty as Unc to go like this. I went like this. I went. As I drove by. So, it was pretty good. No, I heard the beach was shut down, but that must have only been for like a day or two. I literally went like 2 days after. So, everything was back open. Everything was back open. But, I heard somebody say on the news, a nice couple of older ladies. I heard them say, you know what I think it is? I think they just have nowhere else to go during the summer. I think it's a recreational problem. I think it's that they don't have like a third space. Some people talk about a third space where you go from work to home, and then you need like a third space to go and decompress or do some work. So some people go to like a golf club or the YMCA or something. Basically, they were saying, I think it was like local Fox 32 Chicago. No, not Chicago. I think it was like a local Fox station or somebody where they were covering the Boys and Girls Club of, it was either Tampa or Clearwater. And they said, well, you know what I think the issue is that it's summer and they don't have anywhere else to go now. They don't have anywhere else to go, so they're going to go and do that instead. And I found that kind of funny because I don't know if I ever didn't have any place to go. And then I thought, let me head down to Schaumburg Mall and shoot at somebody. Now, maybe you're saying this is out of touch, Bradley. This is coming across as very negative. I did have VBS, so maybe I am. Maybe I am more well off than I'm assuming, and maybe I am more blessed, and I can't relate to this. I did a VBS that was for a week, so that was definitely, it negated. It was, if it was going to Schaumburg and shooting somebody, or if it was going to VBS. Just to be honest with you, I am kind of, I don't know if some people will say, well, you kind of were more privileged growing up, but I always did go to VBS instead. I never went with the fellow teens and took over, Schaumburg or Oakbrook or Vernon Hills Mall, anything like that. I did always, sorry, it's on me. I know it's embarrassing. I know it kind of shows the silver spoon in my mouth and might kind of break me away from a few people listening that, because I'm like that. I have it like that, but I did always just go to VBS. So is it the problem of not having recreational options? I will leave it up to you to discern that from my tone. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here in Maine. I'm here in Florida, and it's going to be a blast. I'm here for a little bit, and I have a buddy that I'm going to do an interview with next week, probably. So it'll either be next week, or I will do this again and then save that for a later date. So I'm trying to tie that down. But like I was saying, thank you so much for joining. Please, if you are on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Gubernatorial, if you are on Spotify or Amazon Music, please hit that subscribe, follow button, comment below, hit the little bell on YouTube, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Let's see what else I have here. Oh, flying down. Yeah, flying down was kind of interesting. For some reason I have a lot of like flying stories, and I know that kind of sounds maybe a little pompous or something, but I did have to sneak a picture again. But this was actually of the flight attendant. I was trying to take a picture of a flight attendant and send it to a couple of buddies. So it wasn't a foot picture. I wasn't sneaking another foot pic on a plane, but I did have to sneak a different kind of picture. So I think I have that here. Not bad at the airport. I don't think. Let me think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that was too exciting at the airport. So we'll see how Florida goes. Some people are saying, they're like, hey, you have the Meta glasses. We need some content. And that is a nice reminder. And I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that a little bit more. So please pay attention on Instagram, and I'll be posting all that. Let's get into it. I mean, what we're kind of going to look at today is just another week with you and me, you and I. We've got some animal stories here. And yeah, it's like an animal heavy week for some reason, which I saw a bird the other day at dinner, and that was, I think it was like a blue-horned nighttime heron. Look that up real quick. Close this, open Safari. Open Safari. If you're not using an iPhone and you're on a Samsung or something, please stop listening to this show. Please stop listening. And yeah, look up right now. I think it was no, I don't know if it was a blue horned. It was something that I made a joke. Oh, that's like me. I'm up late at night. It was like nocturnal. Look this up. Nocturnal Florida Gulf heron. And hopefully if I find it, I'll put it right here. But it was a cool little bird. It was like, it had like cornrows off the back of its head, and it was short. It wasn't a full heron. It didn't have the legs and everything. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, let's kind of get into it. Look that up. Yeah, a lot of animal things. This is kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at a live living frog as opposed to a live dead frog. A living frog in a grocery store salad bag. An owl rescued from a concrete mixer. Unleash the bees, which you'll have to see what that means. Shell game, and then a feel-good story at the end. So, as always, please send in your inquiries, your links, anything like that to bigwhoopshow@gmail.com. Pardon me, that's disgusting. And check out bigwhoopshow.com. That has everything that we're looking at, and got some fun stuff coming up. Can't tell you about it, but we got some fun stuff coming up. All right, let's get into it. This is going to be, let us introduce you, that's a joke, let us introduce you to the live frog found in this grocery store salad bag. All right. Okay, here we are. Yeah, this is a little different this week because I was looking over everything that happened, and the only reason I covered the Clearwater is because it's, vicinity created its relevance. A couple of big words there. Google them if you don't know. And yeah, because it's close, I was like, well, maybe I'll talk about that. But yeah, it is. It's literally like 20 minutes away. So yeah, this is, I was looking through everything and I'm like, see, here we go again. There's nothing really of cultural significance. I mean, there's news and stuff. I hope the straits get open. Or however you say it. I hope the strait gets opened. And yeah, it's kind of the same old, isn't it? A little bit. So I guess this one is kind of an animal-themed week. Okay, here we are. Let us introduce you to the live frog found in this grocery store salad bag. Let's take a look at this.
Or so much feedback about it being AI.
Oh, that's
I feel like it's
disgusting.
actually wild.
Oh, that's disgusting. There's something about seeing it. There's something about seeing that. There's actually a frog in that lettuce. I wasn't prepared. I had read that like 10 times and I never actually seen this.
Honestly, so much feedback about it being AI. I feel like it's actually wild. The fact that we barely know how to use our phones, so I don't think we even could put something like that together.
Yeah, he was just chilling in the bag. I think he was having a hell of a time, really. But yeah, lucky the bag had a few holes in it, and he had plenty of pastures to graze on. So no, he's enjoying it.
I can't help but notice that the bag has, I hope this audio is decent. The bag has a clearance sticker. The bag has a clearance sticker. So I don't know if the store knew that it was in there and just tried to get rid of it. It has like a, 139 yellow sticker there if you see. Let's see, let's go back.
I think he was having a hell of a time, really. But yeah, lucky the bag had a few holes in it. And
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. They're trying to get rid of it. It was like, I don't know what that is. It's like $1.99. Did the store know about it? And that's why they tried to push it off the shelves, which I also had this thought the other day. Isn't this crazy? So I had to buy peanut butter, right? And I wanted healthier peanut butter. And I was looking, I asked Grok, I was like, hey, what's some healthy peanut butter options? And they were like, yeah, it was like, well, look for this brand or this brand. So I found Smucker's. Is it, or Jif? Jif. No, is it Smucker's? Is Smucker's a peanut butter? Or is Smucker's just the jelly? Let's look that up. Smucker's peanut butter. Yes, it was Smucker's. Okay, so similarly to this frog in a bag, did they know about it and then they tried to pawn it off? Reminded me of, I thought of this yesterday. I was looking for a healthy brand and it was Smucker's. And I go, well, that's probably not a healthy thing. And then I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, oh, this is kind of healthy. It was the like organic, 2 or 3 ingredient option. And it made me think, okay, they can make it this way. They can make it this way. You hear my inflection? You kind of know what I mean? It wasn't like a small brand like Aunt Judy's, and it's going to be $15 and it's like homemade. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't Kraft. It wasn't alternative peanut butter or something. It was a major brand and it said organic, all natural peanut butter, 2 ingredients. And it hit me because I'm like, wait a second. Can they make that? If they can make it like this, why wouldn't they make it like this? Why would they have an actual healthy version and a slop version? And then I'm always confused because it's like, why is the less ingredient option always more expensive? If this product is like peanuts and salt, which I think is what it is. Yeah, that's what it claimed to be. Why is that always more expensive than like the stuff full of seed oils and all the chemicals and stuff? Now, maybe it's because like the chemicals are cheaper, but I don't know. It's just interesting because it's like, did they know that this frog was in there and they still tried to sell it? Does Smuckers know that they could just as easily? Why would you still make the bad version if you can just make the normal version? You can make the healthy version. You can make it. And I don't even think there was much of a difference in price. So it's just interesting. It's like, why would they still sell it? Onward. Frog in a bag.
he had plenty of pastures to graze on. So yeah, no, he's enjoying it.
All credit to our flatmates. Say it's their lettuce, and they came home and he's just in the kitchen cooking up, and then he's like, "Bro, there's a frog in my lettuce."
Right, there's a frog in the lettuce. Or nor.
Say it's their lettuce, and they came
It's in the
home
lettuce.
and he's just in the kitchen cooking up, and then he's like, "Bro, there's a frog in my lettuce."
Realm, there's a frog in the lettuce.
He's one of the most relaxed Australians you'd ever find. And honestly, it was hilarious. He brought it in, showed everyone, and we were all screaming about it, having a laugh, and yeah.
It's not every day you get to see that, yeah. So
especially being Kiwis over here.
yeah, we named him Greg, so he's
Yeah, right. It is crazy, mate, when you, let's keep reading. Melbourne, Australia, when Australian farmer Reese Smoker announced he'd found a live frog in a bag of lettuce, his housemates didn't believe him. Smoker had been preparing a steak and salad dinner on Saturday for the 3 people who share his house in Esperance in Western Australia state when he spotted the frog among the leaves inside the sealed plastic bag he'd bought from a market, housemate Lara Jones said on Tuesday. He's like, oh, bro, there's a frog in the lettuce. And we're like, no, you're taking the mick. Like, that's not real, Jones told AP. Taking the mick is a slang term for attempting to fool someone. Smoker brought the bag into the lounge room to show Jones and her partner Billy Lee Pine. These people don't have real names. These people don't have actual real names. Obviously, there's a little frog hiding out, and yeah, we all had a little laugh about it, Jones said. Lapine said they named the frog Greg before releasing it in a pound near the house. All right, so we know from this one recap of what these people are like, we know this isn't the only lettuce being passed around in this house. I think we've now just deduced that. First of all, one of the guys is literally called Reese, R-H-Y-S, Reese Smoker. He's like, oh, bro, there's a frog in the lettuce. And we're like, no, you're taking the mick. Like, that's not real. Yeah, we know that this ain't the only lettuce being passed around in the house, fellas. We get it. Onward. Lee Pine said they named the frog Greg. Yeah, got it. Sounds like it's straight out of Pineapple Express. We thought we'd give him a wee send-off tune as we played Crazy Frog for him. Well, that's pretty funny. That's funny. Lapine told Australian Broadcasting Corp, Crazy Frog is a Swedish CGI animated character and Eurodance musician. All right, thanks, AP News. Smoker and his partner, Lily Ashby, had bought the lettuce at a Woolworths supermarket in Esperance the same day Greg was discovered. 5 years ago, a shopper confronted a 10-foot-long non-venomous diamond python on a shelf at a Woolworths supermarket in Sydney, Australia. These people aren't real people, and their country isn't a real place. Also in 2021, a shopper discovered a venomous, pale-headed snake wrapped in plastic with lettuce in an Aldi supermarket, Sydney supermarket. Woolworths said the frog in the salad was an isolated incident and there had been no other similar cases reported. Our teams are investigating this with our suppliers as a priority. Woolworths apologized to the household and provided a replacement bag of lettuce. That's nice. Maybe not a discounted one this time. Yeah, that's a little crazy, isn't it? What sort of place are you living where you can just casually have animals wander into your production facilities and then you discover it with your smoke mates later on? That's pretty crazy. That's a little interesting. I mean, that sounds like classic Australia a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, first animal story, that would be pretty gross. Honestly, I don't know what I would do. To give a little recap on it, that would be very nasty. I don't like, there's certain germs that I can handle. There's a lot of germs I can handle, but I specifically don't like when somebody eats something that I've had or drinks something that I've had. I had to drink a bottle of like sparkling water last night, and my sister was like, well, can I try it? And I'm like, if you try that, and I'd only barely drank in it. I said, if you try that, it's yours. It's completely yours. And you better finish it because then it's just going to be a waste. It's sitting there, not to go full, Larry David on you. But then if it's sitting there, then all of a sudden you've just totally wasted that. So if you're going to try it, you have to be in for the long haul, which I know is the opposite of trying it, because trying it means you're trying it. You might not like it, but it can't go to waste after that. Otherwise, I'm very mad. And now all you've done is wasted something, and now I can't enjoy it. You've taken it from me. So I won't do that. I won't do nobody can have a bite of something of mine. Nobody can, try a drink of something of mine. So I don't like that. I'm fine with really everything else. I think I had a piece of hair in the food I had a few days ago, and I was like, oh, that's gross. But even that I looked past. So I don't know how I'd handle a frog in my lettuce. Yeah, I'd probably throw the whole thing away. I'd let the frog out and throw the whole thing away and then probably never shop there again. That's crazy. That is crazy. Here in the U.S., we're like, well, something has a piece of hair in it, we're suing them. If the coffee that just, you know, got launched in my lap is too hot, I'm suing them. There in down under in the land of survival of the fittest, survival to the fittest. Stupid. They can have 10-foot pythons in their food, and they can have frogs in their food, and they don't bat an eye. They just hit the next bowl, as the kids say, as the teen takeovers would say. All right, let's move along. How are you doing? What is this? What's playing? What's playing right now? How are you guys doing? Everybody all right? Is everybody enjoying summer? Just checking in, health and wellness check-in. I hope that you're doing well. It's kind of nice that summer is back now. I mean, the sun has been back for a couple of months, you know, spring and all. But, yeah, isn't it kind of nice? You got to do something different this year. You have to try grounding. I know, you know, you're automatically going to think of like, well, it's, you know, that's foo-foo stuff, or that's Sally material, or that's, you know, that has to do with chakras and stuff. No. You now have sunlight. And even when I, you know, where I actually live, it's like concrete city. It's like a concrete jungle. There's no sunlight. Well, there's sunlight, but you know, I have my feet in rubber shoes, and then I never go onto grass. So do this for me. I hope you all are doing well. Do this for me. Make it a mission to actually put your feet in grass, your bare feet, and get some sunlight each day. Okay? Even if you can't work out, you know, if you have some sort of condition, or you have some sort of mental condition where you just can't do it, or you can't get yourself to do it. I've been there too. Try that. Just walk outside, put your feet in grass, make it like 5 minutes. And so that's our mission, right? We have to become better, 1% better each day. And now the sun is back. You're probably listening to this in Illinois. I hope you're doing well. And try that, okay? So that's my health tip of the week. Roll the health tip of the week clip. Okay. Owl rescued from concrete mixer. Boy, this week is just weird. Good, I had to make sure it was still recording. Okay, look at this. Photos. Owl gets new wings. Dude, isn't it so funny when like the most random news sources have stories? News Utah 4. News 4 Utah. ABC4.com. Oh, maybe it's a Utah. Whatever. Wild in Utah. Photos. Owl gets new wings. Flies free after being found encased in concrete in 2025. Oh, breaking news, I guess. You know. Posted May 18th. Oh, yeah, this is because I glanced over this. It started in 2025. All right, let's look at this. Owl gets new wings. Owl gets new wings, flies free after being found encased in concrete in 2025. A great horned owl that fell into a concrete mixer in 2025 and was found nearly completely covered in dried concrete has received new wings and flown to freedom after more than 6 months of care. Holy smokes. It fell in 2025? They were just watching it there? No, that can't be. It was found... surely this isn't how the story goes. It was found in 2025, nearly completely covered in dried concrete, has now just found its wings. So they sat there with cameras and everything and grifted off of this owl in concrete. They didn't help it. The Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab has been home to the owl since a Good Samaritan discovered him in a concrete mixer nearly 80 miles away. The owl required new feathers to maintain his ability of silent flight, a necessary skill in the wild. While the owl was at the... Oh, okay, so they did. They got him out. Okay, never mind. They got him out. They didn't just set up a live stream and monetize him while he sat there. I was going to say, is this like an article saying, it's like a sad article? Like, dang, now he's gone. He flew free. Our live stream income is gone now. Carry on. While the owl was at the sanctuary, the care team waited for him to molt, a process that would have naturally replaced the damaged feathers. However, the owl's spring molt did not go as it should have. This led the Wild Friends team at the sanctuary to learn a procedure that they had never done before. Oh, this is an incredible story. Imping, the process of using donor feathers and adhesive to replace the damaged feathers. The donated feathers for this owl came from a great horned owl of similar size that had passed away. Oh my goodness, look at these pictures. Can I click on these? Of course not, that'd be too easy. All right, so they have this owl with little booties on. Oh, I guess because he's got talons. Concrete owl's feathers. Dude, this is crazy. So they have him spread out on like a procedural table, an operating table. I'll get it. There we go. And they're measuring his feathers. Wow, there's like serious people doing this. This is the Best Friends Animal Society. Good for them. To prepare for the surgery, which took place on May 1st this year, so a couple months ago. Last month, sorry. The Wild Friends team kept track of the owl's feather patterns. Quote, we looked at his feathers every few weeks, so we knew which ones would have to be done, snipping damaged shafts in advance, said Best Friends Animal Sanctuary Supervisor Bart Richwalski. During the procedure, 10 of the primary feathers on the owl's right wing were replaced, and one of the secondary feathers was replaced. Quote, the first few feathers were extremely nerve-wracking, but as soon as we got into the groove, the imping became more comfortable and everything went smoothly, Richwalski said. After a successful imping, I don't think you can use that term. Don't they use that? Imping? After a successful owl imping? I don't think you can use that word. Isn't that the word that Tyrion Lannister gets like pissed about in Game of Thrones? Isn't that a derogatory short person word? I don't know. Maybe times are changing. Maybe you can make jokes now. All right. Well, let's just keep reading. I mean, I don't want to... don't come at me. I'm reading the article. After a successful imping, the best practice is to reintegrate the animal into the wild as soon as possible. The team kept a watchful eye on the owl in the aviary as he healed and then released him into the wild. This is an incredible story. Look at this. Wow. There he is doing it. Dude, look at that pose. Can I zoom in on this? Dude, look at him. Look at him. He said, what up? He said, what up with it, though? He said, what up with it, though? Look at my new fit. Look at me. I'm imping out. Call me the impster. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him with this spread. Showing it off. Good for him. Good for him. Quote, I don't know that my heart was beating until I saw him leave. I was beside myself knowing that after all this time he was healthy and back in the wild, he said. It was such a good feeling. The Owl's journey has touched the community and members at every level of the Best Friends organization. Look at him flying. Is he gone for good? Is that him leaving? Let's keep reading. We're almost done with this article. Best Friends Animal Society believes that every animal... I feel like I should be putting my hand on my heart. Best Friends... Is this their credo? Best Friends Animal Society believes that every animal has intrinsic value, and the care that our team took with this owl really reflects that belief, said Judah Batista. Dude, Dave Batista lost like a ton of weight a while back. Should you do that? When you're known for something, do you get rid of the thing that you're known for? I mean, he was known for being like a bigger guy. And he was getting roles based on that. And when you're a bigger guy, you can do like action scenes. You can play, characters. You can play niche characters like Drax. And then he just sheds it all. It's like now you're just one of 1,000 slim people. It was odd. I mean, he still has the name, but again, it's like, oh, we have this role. Let's look for Dave Bautista. And then you pull up a picture and you're like, oh, he can't fill that Dave Bautista role anymore. So now you're somebody who like a new role has to be crafted because people, studios, your name is the value. So people still would want to cast Dave Bautista because of his name, because it sells tickets and he's good. But then at the same time, it's like, we can't put him in the same role. So now we have to craft this unique role that carries the value of his name and of his star power, of his stardom, but also is something he's totally not known for and is reinventing him. I don't know. I've never understood that. It's like you get rid of the thing that you've made your career off of. Now, hopefully he's not sick. Watch it be he's sick or something. Best Friends Animal Society. Oh, I read that. I'm so proud of the Wild Friends team for their incredibly hard work to get this owl to freedom. That is very cool. That is genuinely very cool. So they took this this owl that was found in concrete in 2025, nursed him, replaced some of his wings with dead donor wings, which is odd. But that's how donors work. I know. And now he's back at it. Now he can do his thing. Now he can dude, that's so funny. Let's go back down to that picture. Go back down to that picture. Ah, look at him. Look at him. Showing his spread, showing his stuff. He's showing the fit, the new fit. He said, that sucker didn't have any use for it anymore. I got it. That's crazy. He's flexing a dead owl's fit. So good on him, right? Good on him. Good on him. That's incredible. That's really good. Round of applause for him. Let's see what else we have. But that's also how it goes for some people. Sometimes, and we've talked about that. We've talked about that where it's like, sometimes you find yourself encased in concrete for a little bit of time, and it takes some time to get out of it. Sometimes that, maybe you're the owl. Maybe you're the owl and you find yourself, for whatever reason, you were encased in concrete and you're stuck. And you slow down, or you are just, you're out of the loop, you're out of the momentum, you're not doing so well, you're not doing so hot. Maybe you've been actually physically sick or mentally or emotionally, stuck or unhealthy, and you've kind of just been out of the cycle. And 2025 was the year you fell into a concrete mixer. And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes that's what it is, man. Sometimes you find yourself in a concrete mixer, and it takes a while. That was in 2025. I don't know the month. I probably read it, but I forgot already. And now it was May 1st, and that owl finally was let go. You can't give up. You can't give up. Sometimes you're down for the count and you cannot give up. Now, it's really on us. I've had that before. It's on us to recognize that and get some help. You got to get some help. The ultimate help is God, because he's the one that actually pulls you out of the mixer. But also sometimes it comes in the form of friends, comes in the form of people you reach out to, and they're the ones that pull you out of the concrete mixer and go, hey, listen, you're not doing too hot. And you're like, yeah, I know. That's why I texted you, you idiot. And they're like, well, I just, they're trying to show off that they can really notice things. And they're like, hey, I notice you're not doing well. And you're like, yeah, well, sucker, that's why I texted you, dumb. I said I'm not doing well. And now you're over here saying, look, you look like you're not doing too good, man. Hey, is everything all right? And they're trying to like play up themselves as this like emotional savant or observational savant. And you're like, yeah, dude, that's why I texted you. That's why you're in my living room. And they're like, oh yeah, good call. That's right. So that's always, I don't know where that came from, but that is always funny. But dude, sometimes you got to ask for help. Sometimes you need somebody, sometimes you need your version of the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary to pull you out of the concrete you're stuck in. And you need your time where you are, you bring it before God and you go, hey, this isn't going so well. I'm struggling with this. I've been a little down. It's been, it's been a little while too. It hasn't been a couple of weeks. It's been months. It's been since last year. And they help you. And sometimes you got to transplant in the good from other people. Sometimes other people walk in and they have a spirit of helpfulness, or they have an outlook that is very good. And you almost have to like transplant their benefit, their positive onto you that they're not using. You know, some people will be so joyful that they have some joy that they're not even using. They've got enough and they're like, hey, I got extra. Here you go. And so you take some of that and you just smother it all over yourself. You go like this and you go like a little bit of suntan lotion. And you smother it on because they don't need it. Or they're such a good person that they'll even give you the amount they have, even if they're not 100% filled. They're only at 60, but they'll still give you 30%, 60%. They'll go into joy debt to give you 100%, and they'll be paying the interest on that 40% they had to loan. They had to get a loan from. So if you're not doing well, get some friends, pray about it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're equipped, you're doing better. You're thriving, right? You're moving from surviving to being able to thrive, or to at least imagine the possibility of thriving. You're able to entertain the idea of thriving. And now, because of the good work from other people, you're doing good, right? And now you're flying and you can silent hunt with your secondary feathers. And now you're back on the horse. You're doing well and you can be a blessing to others. So let's be that for other people. And let's also be self-aware to tell people that we're an owl stuck in concrete and we need to be pulled out. And we could use a little bit of their feathers. We could use a little bit of their help. Maybe a little donation of that joy, a little donation of that support that they have to spare. Let's move on. Okay. All right. This is called Unleash the Bees. Okay. News of the weird, which this is excellent. I don't know. I feel like this is what I was looking for. You know, weird news. Milwaukee's alternative news source. Unleash the Bees. Let's read this. Rebecca Woods, 59 of Massachusetts, was found guilty of assault and battery. Holy smokes. What a turnaround. After unleashing hives of bees on officers who are in the process of evicting a friend of hers. That's incredible. I know this probably isn't good, and, you know, she was found guilty of assault and battery, but dude, I almost wouldn't be. That's cartoonish to me. That's cartoonish. If I'm if I'm in a squalor with my neighbor and all of a sudden they release bees, you've seen in the cartoons where it's like a cloud, like a black cloud of bees, and it's just like coming over the fence and it's like, that's so Looney Tunes to me. I would never press charges. Dude, unless it's like something really, really violent or something that person has done. I would just find that funny, even if they stung me, especially if they stung me, because then in my mind, maybe I'm just a freak and weird, but like in my mind, then I'm like, I'm these cartoons that I've always seen where it's like they go around you and you're just like, and you have like arms and limbs sticking out from every cloud corner. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Who are in the process of evicting? Okay, all right. Was found guilty of assault and battery after unleashing hives of bees on officers. Dude, now they're gonna make you get a concealed carry for that bee that you have on you. Who are in the process of evicting a friend of hers. The Guardian reported on April 28th. One officer had to be hospitalized. Oh, geez, and others were stung repeatedly. In addition, Woods, the lady who released the bees. Woods lost about 1,000 bees in the kerfuffle. Dang. That's some crusade stuff. Some were crushed by the hives as she tried to move them, and some were female honeybees that perished after employing their stingers. Oh, they were those kamikazes, dude. They were those 1940s Pearl Harbor bees. Was it, what year was it? What year was Pearl Harbor? Let me think. 40. Was it 40? I think it might have been 40. If it was in the 30s, it's going to be 39. Oh, 41. Wow. Never mind. Okay. 41. Yeah, I knew we got into the battle late because it didn't really involve us at all. What are we looking at here? Some were crushed by the hives as she tried to move them, and some were female honeybees that perished after employing their stingers. Wood's lawyer, well, that's sad. That's sad. Honeybees are like, you know, they're getting evicted from the planet. They're getting evicted from the planet. And there go a lot more. Mary Saldarelli said that Wood's own experiences with being evicted compelled her to intervene on her friend's behalf, a cancer patient in his 80s. The man was not at home when Woods unleashed her bees, having gone to the library to try to find information about halting the eviction. Okay. Yeah, some people doing some research. Woods was sentenced to 6 months in jail. All right, so I don't get this. What is this? She released the bees on behalf of the man who was not at home? Wood's lawyer said that Wood's own experience with being evicted compelled her to intervene on her friend's behalf, a cancer patient in his 80s. Oh, okay, who was going to the library to see if he could fight the eviction. Interesting. I don't know if... So she must not have lived there and she came over to do that? Meanwhile, in Arizona, 2 men were attacked by what sheriff's deputies called a moving black cloud of hundreds of thousands of angry bees. That's just so cartoony. That's cartoony. I know it's serious and, you know, that's funny. People magazine reported on April 29th. The Greenlee County Sheriff's Office described the men as completely covered head to toe in bees. Firefighters donned protective gear, but the bees still managed to sting several on their heads. No ambulances were available, so the men got a ride to the hospital in a fire truck while firefighters picked the bees off them. Oh. Let me know in the comments, would you rather have a frog in your lettuce or have so many bees on you that they have to be picked off by other men? Gross. Officials were unable to locate a hive and suspect the bees were part of a migrating swarm. Both men have been released from the hospital. Well, I don't think they did anything wrong. Oh, released from the hospital because okay, got it. Because they're doing well now. That's crazy. A moving black cloud of hundreds of thousands of angry bees. How do you estimate that? How do you go, yeah, that's at least 100,000? How do you do that? How do you go, yeah, that's not 75,000. That's got to be at least 100,000. I couldn't tell the difference between 1,000 bees and, well, maybe 1,000 to 10,000 I could tell. I don't know if I could tell the difference between 10,000 and, I don't even know what 10,000 would look like. Average bee is like that? Hundreds of thousands? Man, that could be fake news. It might have been, honestly, it could have been 40,000 bees. Hundreds of thousands of bees. A moving black cloud of hundreds of thousands of angry bees. Sounds like the Clearwater incident. Let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah, so that's interesting. So bees are on the attack. Or they're being perpetrated to attack other people. But yeah, that's some weird things. I'm glad nobody died. I don't know if you can die of a bee attack, you know, unless of course you're allergic, but that's pretty funny. That's actually kind of like a funny situation to me. Let's see. Okay, this is the last. I got 2 things left. I got one more called Shell Game and then a feel good story, right? A friend of mine said, you got to have some more feel good stuff. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Okay, let's see. Shell Game. Oh, it's on the same website. A 19-year-old. Oh, this is crazy. I read this one because it's kind of short. A 19-year-old Taiwanese woman attempted to board her plane in Bangkok with an unusual carry-on items. 30 Indian star tortoises worth $9,000 strapped under her clothing. Yahoo News reported that Thai authorities grew suspicious of her movements and a search uncovered the protected species. Grew suspicious of her movements. Dude, if you had 30 Indian star tortoises, how would you walk? I don't even know how you... Is it like you pooped your pants all over? Because at that point, you're totally moving so weird that it's like, oh, they might just walk that way. If you had a tortoise strapped to your waist, you'd be walking weird. It'd be walking like you kind of pooped your pants. But if somebody is walking weird all over, like their shoulder is weird, I'd be like, oh, they just have, you know, they just have a story that they need to be covered. They just have something, you know, they have something going on in their situation, with their body function, motor functions, or in their mind or something. That's just how they move. Those were the cards they were dealt. Okay. Anyways, worth $9,000 strapped under her clothing. Yahoo News reported that Thai authorities grew suspicious of her movements, and a search uncovered the protected species. Yeah, I bet it did. I bet that's how they word it. Perverts. The suspect, that's how I'd call it too. The suspect had used adhesive tape to immobilize the animals, pack them into cloth bags, and attach them to her body to evade detection. Thailand's Wildlife Conservation Department said the passenger was charged with illegally transporting animals and evading customs controls, and given the preponderance of wildlife smugglers who use Thailand as a transportation hub to sell endangered animals on the black market, authorities are investigating whether she could be linked to a larger smuggling ring. The tortoises are under the care of wildlife conservation officials. You know, you always hear things like smuggling ring, and you're like, wow, they must really, it's either really advanced and they're using like real, you know, some high tech. This isn't tortoise smuggling from the 20s. This is some pretty high tech stuff. And you're like, well, it must be, you know, there's a certain bar of quality that you think, or you're like, you think of the opposite and you're like, oh yeah, these are just tortoises smuggled in a shipping crate. And then you find out that smuggling is just adhesive tape and turtles strapped to your body under your clothes, walking through an airport. That's what turtle smuggling is. So that's all it is. So if you're looking to get into that, let me pop that bubble right now. If you're a teen this summer looking for a recreational activity to do, don't get into turtle trafficking. It's not nearly as glorious or as sophisticated or even as grimy and dirty as you think. It's literally just tortoises taped to a body. So don't get into that, kids, is what I'm trying to say. Don't get into that. I know a lot of kids are thinking about that, and they're like, well, what will I do with these weeks off now? Is it VBS or animal smuggling in, let me see, in Bangkok? Go to VBS. Choose VBS. Okay? All right. It's not as glamorous as you think. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's see. I think this will be my last one. Feel good story. Young boy asking neighbors for barbecue leftovers gets pizza party surprise. Okay, let's see this. Let me pause this. The young boy who went viral for asking neighbors for barbecue leftovers was surprised with a full pizza party by the same people he asked. Oh, that's kind of sad. What is that? He was like, okay, so this must be part 2 of a story. Is it something like he was asking for leftovers? I don't know. Let's just watch it. There was a young boy who went viral for asking neighbors for barbecue leftovers, and he was surprised with a full pizza party by the same people he asked. Aw, man. All right, well, let's see how this goes.
It's not barbecue, is it, Jacquez? No. Is it good, though? Yeah.
Dude, that's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, I'm just catching on to what's happening now. Young boy went viral. He must have gone viral for asking neighbors for barbecue leftovers. That's sad. That's sad, man. When you got to show up at a house and you kind of got to be like, hey, can I have some food? Because nobody back home is taking care of me. That's sad. And then I guess they threw him a whole birthday party, a whole full pizza party out on the front lawn. That's excellent. That's excellent. See, that's what you need. That's what you need. You need people who have each other's backs, who are... That's what I'm talking about. If you're a kid in need of food, if you're an owl encased in concrete, you have to show up and sometimes ask for help. You sometimes just got to ask for help. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. And actually, it could immensely work your way, because now all of a sudden you could be having a full pizza party by the end of the day. Let's see the comments. Good on them. Good on them for hosting that, for doing that for that kid, for that young man. They seen the backlash of them not giving him any barbecue. He still ain't got any yet. They said you can't eat the ribs, but here's some Little Caesars $5 boxes. Wait a second. Did they not actually give him barbecue food? Did they actually not give him any barbecue food? Wait a second. Hold on. They seen the backlash of them not giving him any barbecue. He still ain't got any yet. Oh, wait a second. They never gave him any barbecue food. They never actually gave him anything. Where's part 1 of this? Is there a way to have part 1? Dude, hold on. I totally misread this. Yeah, wait a second. Forget them. Forget these people. They seen the... They must not have given him any food. They said you can't eat the ribs, but here's some Little Caesars $5 boxes. Oh, they didn't help him at all. Gosh dang it. Regular people having PR stunts is crazy work. Well, that's true. You would have got a plate from me and my family. You're trying to do damage control. All right, you know what? I did not. Kid went viral asking for barbecue leftovers. Neighbors threw him a pizza party and said, why not barbecue? Some asked, why was he begging? I asked, why wouldn't you feed a kid who asked? Yeah, never mind. Forget these people.
No. Is it good though?
Dude, they got roasted in the comments. It looks like, all right, I'm getting this story completely backwards. I'm jumping in the middle of it, at the end of it. It sounds like they got roasted in the comments because they didn't give him barbecue. They didn't give him any food. He rolled up saying, hey, can I have some food? Which, props on him. That takes some guts. Unless he, unless he's just wanting food like that. But if it's as sad as it sounds, if it's as, serious as it sounds, he rolled up, he said, can I have food? They said, nah, and shut the door on him. That went viral. And now they're throwing him a pizza party. It's still not even barbecue food. They're throwing him a pizza party on the front driveway, which I've never seen. You put people who aren't welcome in your house or you don't actually like in the front driveway. You let people in the back who you like. Major pause. You let people in the backyard who you like. The backyard is actually, they're keeping him on the front, dude. They're putting him on the driveway and they're doing PR work. All right. I apologize. I had this story completely backwards. I don't know if I like these people. They're PR working their own. They're correcting their mistake and they're not even giving him barbecue. They're giving him pizza and they're keeping him on the front lawn so they can take a video and then get rid of him as soon as possible. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's a story where the owl was stuck in cement, needed some help, and they pulled him out. They said, hey, we're going to help you. They snapped a picture with him and just threw him out into the wild. All right. I had that story completely wrong. That's pretty funny. That's a little backwards from what I thought. He rolled up and they said, no, you can't have any. And they say, we could actually use this as a PR situation. We could actually, make this go viral. People are roasting us. Let's get him pizza. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy what some people will do for online attention. Sometimes they'll do something like that. Sometimes they'll set up a camera and have a mic and talk about nothing, week after week. Week after week. But yeah, I think that could be it. Honestly, that's probably it. I think we're looking at a decent time. That's everything. Listen, like I said, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. And if you're not, I'm busy right now. If you're not doing well, I'm a little busy right now. Give me a couple weeks and then I want to hear about it. And I'll try to get some more Meta Glasses content. I might honestly thinking about, I don't know, man. I look at this, watch this. I look at this and I go, I kind of see it. I kind of see what people are talking about. I don't know. I might do something with the old broccoli top, with the old lettuce head, with the old frog and the lettuce. Yeah, seriously though. Hey, if you are, the sun is out. The sun is out. I know it's maybe pretentious or silly or easy for me to say that or something. I'm not trying to say that, but what I am trying to say is, if you're a frog stuck in a lettuce bag, if you're an owl stuck in concrete, if you are bees stuck in a hive, or if you are a hungry person who needs food, who needs sustenance to live, ask for help. Ask for help. If you have good people in your life, they might notice it already, and they're gonna, without you even asking, they're gonna bring food over, or they're gonna, pull you out of the concrete mixer. But sometimes people don't notice, and that's not always it's not always intentional. They didn't notice that I was. Yeah, some people just don't notice. Like, maybe you're really good at seeming like you have it all together, or maybe they also have a lot going on. So it is kind of, people always think, well, I wasn't doing well. What do you mean I have to ask for help? Why did nobody notice? Yeah, I know. In a perfect world, maybe that's how it would go. But also at the same time, you're responsible for being responsible for yourself. You're responsible for being responsible for yourself. And so reach out to some people. I'm just kidding. I obviously am being facetious. Always reach out. bigwhoopshow@gmail.com. I would love to chat with you, see if you need some help. But hey, summer's here. Summer's here. Go to the zoo. Go to Six Flags. Go on vacation. Enjoy yourself. Spend time with family. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you so much for being here. Hopefully I'll have an interview next week. Or I have like 17 people here that are here with me that I'm related to, and nobody wanted to join me. I don't know what the deal is. It would have been a fun week. I was looking at animal articles and everything. Like Anyway, thank you so much. Love you lots. bigwhoopshow.com. Some cool stuff on the way. Onward and upward. 2026. We got to strive for excellence. We have to strive to be elite human capital and be ascending. And I'm going to hopefully spend a little time praying more. I think that's where it all starts. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.